everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to make these DIY all the time Dulces Enchilados. Let's begin! So we are first going to begin by making our chili powder coating. So I am going to begin with tajin. It's just a basic household item we have all the time in the house, and of course I had to go for that one. And I'm actually not going to be measuring any of my chili powders. I just found it best just to eyeball everything, and I'm only going to use 2, so I'm just using half tajin, and then I'm going to use half of a second chili powder. And I believe that second chili powder is called changi polvo. I don't know, I just found it at Vallarta and it looked good. So I'm just using or eyeballing half of that as well, then I start mixing it as well. Now one thing I did notice quite often in other recipes is this Lucas chili powder right there. It's always the blue one, never the red. They typically, add a decent amount or that whole bottle into the chili powder and mix it well. So if you're lucky enough to find it in store, buy it and use it. The only reason I didn't use it is because I didn't come across it. So next is making our chamoy coating. So here I am using a coladera to sift the powdered sugar. I thought it would sift the powdered sugar enough so it wouldn't clump, therefore it wouldn't have to use the microwave, but that was pretty much a waste of time. So you can bypass using the coladera and just go straight to using or adding 5 spoonfuls of powdered sugar. Again, that's just 5 spoonfuls of powdered sugar into a separate bowl. So again, here I'm just sifting the powdered sugar, but go ahead and bypass this because it was a waste. And next we are gonna add our chamoy. Here is the chamoy I'm using. I think it's just called Amor chamoy, but go ahead and use whatever brand you like or whatever you find. And to this mixture, you're just gonna add 2 spoonfuls of that chamoy. Then you wanna mix both of the ingredients very thoroughly until you have no more actual powdered sugar residue anywhere. And this may just take a couple minutes to combine everything extremely well, and this is pretty much where I find out that I'm still going to get the clumps in my chamoy anyway, and I am going to have to microwave this coating here. So to microwave this coating, it's just 2 increments at 10 seconds each, and then it'll remove all of the little bubbles and all of the clumps of the powdered sugar. So once you have that coating, we are ready to start, coating all of our candy. Alright, so the easiest, fastest, and cleanest way I saw to do this step is just using Tupperware. Just Tupperware that's ready to go and dispose of afterwards if you need to, but again, you can always wash it. So here I am just starting with classic gummy bears. Of course, you can use whatever kind of candy you want. So I am just going to add 2 spoonfuls or at least 1.5 spoonfuls of the chamoy. Then you want to cap your Tupperware and then get to shaking until all of the all of the gummy bears have been extremely coated in all of that chamoy. Alright, excuse the camera shake. So now I'm just eyeballing how much chili powder I'm going to add to the gummy bears. I did go in with a heavy hand, I'm not going to lie. I absolutely love chili, so I thought the more the better in this case, right? So after shaking it up quite a bit and making sure that I have coated majority of the gummy bears, I saw here, and honestly I wasn't that pleased with how much chili was on them. So I thought, why not and go with a second coat of the chili powder. So every time I coat a new set of candy, I always add 2 coats of the chili powder just because 1 was definitely not enough for me. So here I just have my second coat, I get to shaking once again, and then here you have our second coat of chili gummy bears, which looks so much better. So this is pretty much the same step you're going to repeat again and again and again, depending on the candies that you want to use, of course. So next I am actually going to be using Skittles. So I didn't go too heavy with the chamoy just because I didn't want to discolor the Skittles, so I went with about, I think, 1.5 spoons of the chamoy mixture, and then I just got to shaking, and then I added a coat of the chili powder, shook it again until everything was well incorporated, and then again, of course, I keep saying again so much, I added a second coat of the chili powder until I was happy with how much chili was actually on the candy. See, doesn't it just look so much better and a lot more mouth-watering with the second coat of chili? I don't know, I guess that might just be my preference. But of course, if that's too much for you, just stick with 1 coat of chili and it'll still obviously be delicious. Now next, I am going in with some Lifesaver gummies. and after that I believe I used some sour gummy worms. Of course, it's all up to you and what your preference is in candy. So one thing you may have noticed is I always have chili powder ready to go, even though I run out of it quite a few times just because of the amount that I'm using. So I'm obviously just doing it off camera and following those same steps with half Tajín and half of the other chili powder and combining it really well, and then just coating the candy every single time. And now I'm working on the last batch of candies. Here I am using sour gummy worms and using the last of the chamoy coating that we made. And for all 4 batches of the different candies that we used, I used the same batch of the chamoy. So the 5 spoonfuls of powdered sugar with the 2 of chamoy was enough for 4 different batches of candy. And of course I did make several batches of the chili powder aside. But the chamoy was enough for 4, so just go ahead and plan accordingly depending how much candy you're going to be coating. And there you have it, your delicious, mouth-watering Dulces Enchilados. I honestly cannot wait to devour all of these. Well, thank you for watching, everyone, and please subscribe.